We got a Bavette steak that we're gonna cook right now. The marbling on this thing is absolutely insane. This is a nice thick piece of Bavette. So we're gonna do this about medium rare, and it's quite fibrous, so then we're gonna cut it across the grain. I'm gonna start this thing by seasoning it with salt and pepper. We've got our steak rub here, which is some beautiful kosher salt and some coarse-ish butcher's pepper. So we're gonna season this liberally. It is quite a thick piece of beef. So we're watching this, we're smelling, we're listening, we're touching, and we're just gonna get a nice sear on each side. Once we're happy with that sear, we're gonna move it just away from the direct heat and finish cooking it indirectly. So I'm gonna flip that over now. So once we get our sear, we're gonna move it indirectly and kind of like let it cook from that residual heat and kind of render that fat that's in there. Let those fibers loosen up, and we'll be resting it and cutting across the grain in no time. All right. So that's looking good. I'm loving how this is looking. I'm just gonna lay it on the sides and let that cook. So when we do move it away from the direct heat and it finishes cooking indirectly, it's got a nice sear that's gonna lock everything in. I'm always using my internal thermometer, especially once I get towards like the halfway point, because the cooking doneness does accelerate quite quickly, I find. So I'm gonna pull this thing off, just lay it here, let it rest. I'm usually not too particular when it comes to slicing the steaks, but for certain steaks, I 100% am, and Bavette is one of those. So I can see very obvious grain. So again, I'm slicing it on a bit of a slight bias here. When you first slice it, it's probably gonna look a little bit more done than what it actually is, but as it sits, you're gonna see that it is more of a rare than say a medium rare. So I'm just gonna try it as is. Again, very fibrous, wonderful fat content here. It's gonna have some nice texture. It's actually like melt in your mouth buttery. An incredible flavor. The fat is literally just rendered almost perfectly. It's melting in my mouth. The texture is lovely, you know, different than anything else that you could have. Bavette, let's go.